Hey, welcome to my channel, which is now officially a year old. And to commemorate my first channel-versary, I'm going to give a couple updates. The main one being a doll room tour, because I haven't done one in 10 months and a lot has changed. And then after that, I'll come back and just talk a little bit about the channel itself, some updates there, especially the video where I explained why I will no longer be collecting American Girl. And I think I can now give a follow-up because shortly after I uploaded that video, American Girl Corporate did reach out to me. So I'll fill everyone in on that to, just give a little final, not farewell, but just to share where that left off. And as far as the doll room tour goes, I'll do just a quick scan of the entire room because, as I said, it's been 10 months. So a lot has changed since then. And the first time I did the doll room tour, it took me 2 months after starting my channel because there was so much to show that I was shy about it. Not embarrassed necessarily, but like trying to ease everyone into it. And in those months that have passed, I think there's been enough time to ease everyone into what the update might look like. And so after I do the quick scan of the room, I will go into each section and give more focus and go in on the details because there's obviously a lot to see. All right, let me start with the newest section and work my way around the room from there. So next to these shelves that are above my couch goes into my Claudie section. And I'll talk more about the shelves and how I got them all together and what they are after I go into each section specifically. But for now, I'm just trying to show an over scope of the room. These are my Maplelea dolls. This is my window display, so it changes seasonally. And right now I have Maplelea dressed for winter. And so this is what I face. My TV's on this wall, and this is the historical section. Got the 80s and 90s, and then general historical. More of Courtney's World up here. The bridge over my TV is Angelo's Bakery, so Claudie's part of Claudie's World. Then the next section of my historical world is Mary Ellen's Deluxe Diner. Got the 70s coming down here. And again, I will go in and show more details after because there's a lot to see, especially if you haven't seen my old video, but also because I've added to everything. And then the awkward part at the end, you know what? Some 50s continues down here. And then I just threw the re-release historical dolls over here. It's a lot of glare, but I should have said. Now this one is awkward because the bridge between my historical and my contemporary displays is this display case that I've opened on here, so it may be familiar to some of you if you've seen my other videos, and there's just no way to get around it than just being really obvious about it. So this is my other contemporary wall. Joss's World is up at the top. And then just, there is sort of an organization to how everything is placed here, which again, I'll explain it. I'm just trying to show the scope all at once. I hope that's clear. And then just because I wanted to have everything on display, I brought out my limited edition dolls. Too much glare, but hopefully you can tell what everything is. All right, now, if that was enough, I'll see you later, but if you want to see the details, I'll go into them now. See, now, as much as I love having all my displays that are really dynamic with all the accessories and play sets and stuff, I do love seeing other collectors who just have their dolls up on shelves, whether they're shoulder to shoulder or sort of on an angle so that you can't see all the details. So I put up these 3 shelves above my couch. It used to be a big long mirror here. And what I did was I couldn't find shelves that were the right depth and the right length, so I just got some baseboards that you would put around the base of your walls, and I chose the right size that I needed. I got a cut at Home Depot or wherever it was, and then I used brackets, corner brackets, to put them up and painted everything white just so it looked more crisp, I guess you could say. So if you look in the back, you'll see the screws, and there are anchors in there because one of the things that happened the first time I put up shelves, they weren't this small, they weren't this narrow, and it happened on camera. Well, it happened while I was recording, but I didn't use the video footage. The first round fell out of the wall. And so up at the top shelf, this is where I keep my Pleasant Company historical dolls. This isn't, I don't think, no, it's not all of my Pleasant Company dolls, but it's all of my Pleasant Company historicals. And here's my little Samantha gang, because I couldn't stop myself from buying a doll for each outfit that I loved. And the two shelves down here, I change these out a lot. I swap them around. Whatever I want to have sort of on display for a period of time. This is where I have a short attention span for the displays and like changing out their clothes. And I don't know if I need to go into any of the specific dolls. This is my little dance troupe. It's a bunch of customs, 3 customs. And I've shown them in their sort of streetwear. And this is their jazz tap outfits. And I don't think I need to go in and talk about every single doll, but those ones I haven't really been able to feature properly in that outfit. So I've been trying to look for a time to show them off. And here on an Elsa. I've shown this outfit, and here's Elsa in the paisley dress outfit. One of the Girl of Today outfits from the, I want to say early 2000s. So yeah, I showed you the limited edition the box version of the limited edition Claudie, but this is the one I opened up, and that's why I don't know if I need to keep her out all year round. I'll probably talk about that a little bit more later. But this is, like I said, a display that isn't my normal style, but I do like how dolls look just on a display. So most recent thing, I haven't shown this yet, so this is brand new, and that's why I wanted to start here. My main Claudie shelf is kind of awkward because it's in this corner, and I'm just gonna sort of pan down and show you her scenes really quickly. I showed this in my video from 10 months ago. Everything is kind of set up like a scene. So here she's discovered, let's say, a boudoir where the jazz outfit and accessories are stored, and she's just trying them on, or she will be, but so that's kind of what's happening in the scene, is she's discovered it and she's going to try it on. And I found these wallpapers on spoonflower.com. They're the sample size, and they often put their wallpapers on sale for 30% off. So I would wait for those, and every time I would plan out the scenes that I wanted to do, like this one down here where she's on her scooter, so it's supposed to look like it's outside. She's on a cobblestone road with a brick wall behind her. So I'd plan out scenes like this, and then I would put the wallpaper in my cart and just wait for it to go on sale, and then I would buy everything. And this one down here, because I'm right at my couch, so like the arm of my couch, okay, you can almost see everything, and it's clear enough. So these are the Harlem, not Renaissance, but it's the inspired by outfits that they're wearing in here. So they're just set up in a little library, I guess you could say. And the shelves themselves are Detolfs, which IKEA used to make, and they were pretty cheap. I think they were about maybe 50 or 60 US. And I think the most expensive they got in Canada was $80. And some point during the pandemic, they just stopped making them. So what I've done, because if you're familiar with Detolfs, the shelves are unadjustable, so because you would just put the glass shelves on those silver rods that you see here. So they're 15 inches, which is obviously not the right size for an American girl. So I got these wire rope clips, and I put them I would measure them, put them around the rod that's inside there, hopefully you can see, and then just get them the right size that the shelves will sit on the rope clips, wire rope clips. I don't think I said that correctly. And that's how I adjust and customize my shelves. And then you may see these, what looks like white brush going around. It's window insulation. And that's there because when you put the glass doors on, these usually have glass doors, but I've removed them, obviously, because of the glare. This helps keep out dust because these, like I said, I meant to say the doors have gaps around them. And this just helps kind of, it's definitely not an airtight seal, but it's a lot better than the ones I have that don't have that around it. So here's Claudie. Let me just take you over to the next area over here, which is my window display. Now, currently I have my Maplelea dolls set up. As I mentioned briefly before, right now it's winter, so if you look at the window dressings behind them, they're snowflakes. So this is dual purpose. I use it for Christmas and then the winter season, which is really long in Canada. Hence why Maplelea makes all this amazing winter clothes. And I have more Maplelea dolls than are right here right now. But the thing is, I'm really behind in uploading my unboxing videos. So I don't want to introduce them this way. I'd rather show them in an unboxing. And I think when you put them all together, they're very cute, very lovely dolls that you don't get to see in person because they're only available online, which is unfortunate. But the clothes are little works of art because they're really like, it's clothes you would see in a store, but they've just shrunken them down to doll size. And I'm just going to cut here and go over to my start on my historical section. Just to give an idea of my TV being here and this being the focal point of the room, I'm going to start from the back and work my way in because there are some shelves that have definitely changed and evolved over time. The 90s girls, well, one of my 90s girls scenes starts here and it just goes up in a vertical line. You got Isabel's room down there. Here's Nikki. I don't know if they have different rooms or different side of the room. Yeah, I guess it would be different sides of the room because they have the same wallpaper. So she's at the computer desk, and then Nikki is sitting on her blow-up chair with her best friend Onika, who's a custom. And I have as many of their accessories that I could have possibly fit. And these are their friends who are Kaylee and Trilimi 127. And this is supposed to look like outside. It used to be where I displayed Kit, but she's been moved, and that's why her scooter is still back there. But I'm fine with it. You can't really see it, and it's still outside, so it's fine. So that's the main part of the 90s girls, these 3 shelves here. And then if I come up here, these ones are a bit more random. So you've got this little tea party going on down here with Caroline, Cecile, and Tenny, but she's been repurposed. And then up here is Kaya and Misty Blue, who is a custom American Girl doll, but she's dressed in the Maplelea Stony Nakota outfit. And I have a lot of her pets in here. I love when there are things like toys or pets or something for the dolls. So whenever they're available, I buy them. And here's my little Addie shelf. These are the non-PC dolls, so that's why they're over here. And as you can see, her quilt's back there, which is such a beautiful piece. It's the original red quilt, not the blue Be Forever one. Be Forever doll and the anniversary doll. And just a few accessories, kind of things that I found easily because Addie stuff is hard to come by where I live. And so that's why it's just whatever I could find, I get it. Well, I did get the quilt on eBay because it was one of those must-have kind of pieces. And now coming over here, it starts in, well, let me start at the bottom, down here, because here is a little campsite. And as you can see, it's Molly and Kit. Molly's wearing her Camp Gowanagan outfit, and Kit is wearing the Maplelea Camp Tanamacoon outfit. But I just put her in, I think, a pair of tennis shoes, and it's supposed to look like they're at a campfire. They do look really cozy, I'm aware. But I think it's cute because one's an American camp and one's a Canadian camp, and some of my dolls are from Canada, like me, and some are in America because they're American Girl. And they both got their dogs in there and just some little food pieces because they're around the campfire. And so again, all these are spoonflower.com wallpapers. It's meant to look like it's outside with some more stone at the bottom. Kind of, I guess, continued up from the fireplace, but I don't know if a camp would really have rocks like that. But I liked it. It suited what I had in mind. And now coming up is starting the 80s world, which is Courtney's world, and my first American Girl pieces were her fashions and some of her accessories and play sets. They're sitting on the World by Us sofa. And as you can see, we've got her. I have almost all of Courtney's pieces, but I'm just missing her flats and socks that came out, and then some promotional pieces. But I did manage to get her Pac-Man arcade. I think I had to get it on eBay though, because I'm not sure if it came to Canada, but by the time I was collecting, it definitely wasn't. It definitely wasn't at Indigo, which is the bookstore in Canada that used to carry them. And I know I think the draw to Courtney was that she's a girl playing video games, so it's like, it's typically a boy thing, but I wasn't left with many options of pieces to use for a boy doll. And I can't really get in here, so I'm going to go to get a stepladder so I can go in closer. So the idea is that this is set up as sort of her bedroom, some kind of slumber party. And I change around their outfits quite a bit. Nothing drastic. Some of them feel like they're signature outfits and I wouldn't want to change them. Like I have never changed Heather because I just feel like that's her meat outfit. And it would look weird on anyone else. I've changed Stacy a few times. And if you look back there, there's the TV and VCR, some roller skates that aren't hers, but they suit her world, so they stay there. And her Parsley, her guinea pig. I've put there's this this line of toys called World's Smallest Toys that are a bit small for the 1/3 scale. I believe that's what American Girl is. But they're small enough that I had to have at least My Little Ponies and some Care Bears because those are things I loved as a kid. So we've got Debbie up here flipping through a Pleasant Company catalog because the Molly doll is there. I guess ordered from that catalog, or maybe that catalog came with it. I'm not sure how it was because I didn't collect in the 80s. And I think that's, I got some Barbie pieces put in here because I ordered the limited edition outfit sets just so that I could put them as part of Courtney's world. Now let me move on to the bridge. I've shown this setup before, but I can't just breeze by it because it's one of my favorite displays, and that's why it's right above the TV. So this is probably the most focal scene in my whole living room, my whole doll room. I mean, I say doll room, but I live in a doll apartment. I can't tell a lie. And I've got Tiana up here in her work outfit, and then Truly Me, I think this is 51, 58. I don't know, I've named her Elsie, and then I forget what their numbers are. Sometimes I'm getting better, but in the moment, her number's escaping me. So they work, I guess they all work at Angelo's Bakery. Someone's putting these kids to work. The bakery sort of continues on to the Seaside Diner, but even up on the stepladder, it's going to be hard to catch all the details just because I'm in a pretty tight spot. But what I did was I took both of the versions of the diner, the old one and the new one. I dismantled the old one so that I could make this look like a big, long deluxe scene with both versions. And as you can see, I have a lot of dolls in Mary Ellen's world, including Barbie. So I would say this is probably, aside from Angelo's Bakery, I don't know, I was about to say it's my favorite scene, but I think I've already probably said that 3 times. It's just that I love every scene. Oh, and that's Cinderella. Nenea, Truly Me 79, Truly Me 77. I think he's 76 and she's maybe 103. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. They all have names and characters in my world. So let me get off the stepladder and take you down with the rest of the 50s dolls. Now, because of the shapes of the displays and the way I had to manipulate the detolf, I couldn't make it continuous. So there's just this one random shelf between the diner and then coming down to Mary Ellen's home pieces, which are down here. But first, obviously, I've got Claudie in her sequin cape. They're not really outfit names, they're more like outfit descriptions. So I've got her on Covey's stage, which is, I like the fact that it's dinky, which I know is the complaint, but I like that it's something that could fit on a detolf because it's small enough. And there's no way I could have done anything like this Tenny stage, for example. Now, coming down to Mary Ellen's living room set, her sofa set. I don't know if you could tell from this angle, but the sofa is so wide that it pushes out the glass, which means I had to put this at the most as centered as possible with the height so that there was enough give that it could fit in here because I wanted it to sit in a shelf. Ideally, it would have been up near the top, and then this kitchen display, and then this would have been probably on the bottom. Or maybe, oh no, I wanted this on the bottom to have this beside it so she's looking into the living room. But, I'm glad I have everything that I wanted. It's just the display didn't go as exactly as I planned. And that's fine, I can improvise. And then, so like I said, this is Mary Ellen's kitchen. And I've got a couple dolls. Custom, well, I guess they're both customs technically. And her little dog, her dachshund, not her dachshund. So little, if you want to get closer to the TV. So many wonderful play sets. Now, this has gone through a little bit of a change too. So this is Tyson's ice cream parlor from Be Forever Samantha's collection. I originally got it for Claudie in her Christmas outfit, but I've since added Be Forever Samantha. And I've shown these pieces up really close on here quite a few times, so I don't think I need to go into too many details aside from showing it and showing how the wallpapers look. And this is Rebecca. It's Samantha from the 1900s, Rebecca from the 1910s, and Claudie from the 1920s. I don't know why I think that works, but it does for me. And now here's a little bit of a shift too. So I've got the 1970s. So you got these boy dolls. One's a CYO, one's a slightly customized 77 in the basketball court. And again, Julie is supposed to be subversive, I guess, being a girl basketball player in the 1970s. But if I want to include any boys, I have no choice but to steal the boy stuff that, well, not boy stuff, but stuff that's supposed to be for boys and put them on boy dolls. Then I've got another custom doll in here at the arcade. And I love this arcade. It's an actual, just like the Pac-Man arcade game, this is an actual pinball machine that works. You can turn it on and play it. It takes batteries, and the Pac-Man game has a charger. And this is the re-released version of her record player. And we got Julie and her best friend out walking the dogs, and her bicycle's in the background because that was the original concept for this. But then I got the dogs, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to get rid of the bike. I'm just going to hide it back there. And it'd be like they were biking, and then they decided to walk the dogs. And here's Yvette in what would have been Julie's room, but now it's Yvette's room. And I just, random things, whenever I see something for sale that could go in here. I dismantled her purple bed, the one that was purple and had the blankets on the back. If you see there, that's what I've used as wallpaper, just to have it feel as much like Julie's actual bedroom as possible. And I don't like too much of the body showing, so I just put her meat turtleneck underneath this pinball outfit. And then here, this is sort of Melody's world. So there's her wardrobe and her dog are down here. That's from Julie's egg chair, but it didn't fit in there with her because it was a lot bigger when I got it in person. And then here is Melody with her best friend that I've made. And the piano's back there. I don't know if you could see it. But another amazing piece that I can't believe I got so lucky to find in a store on sale in Canada. So this is the second, let me back up. This is the second half of the historical section. And then I'm going to go in and show you the display case I have over here, this shoe store. So because I built this display down here, and I didn't build it, I bought it and then I put it together. That's what I mean by built it. Because I had that, it created a surface that I could build another scene on. So I had my partner paint me this farm scene in the background so that I could put these 4 dolls. Well, originally it was 3, but I'm always adding dolls to my displays. These are 2 sisters and a brother character. They're all wearing Maplelea, and the animals are Maplelea animals. And then I just used some things from a craft store. This little, I know the fence is tiny, but it's just I wouldn't want it to cover the dolls. I just wanted to have that white picket fence feel. And then he is a kid sister doll I've given a boy wig to feel like he's part of the American Girl world because he's got the closed mouth. Now I gotta climb down from my love seat. Bear with me. And then this is the shoe store display that I was talking about that I did assemble this on a video, and there's a lot of glare, so let me try to make this more appealing. You can see my stepladder now. Oh no. Anyway, there are a lot of dolls in here, and it's really hard to show this because of all the glare, but I hope you get the point. I just fit as many dolls as I can, and then this is how I display my shoes, doll shoes. But again, there's just so much. It's really hard to show this really clearly. So now let me get to the last scene, which is the contemporary scene. When you enter what would really be the dining room from the hallway in my apartment, this is the focal point there. And I'll show Joss's world up later when I get the stepladder back out. But for now, I'll just go in and show you. Here is, so these 2, as I said before, there's there is an organization to how these displays are. So these are supposed to look like they're side by side as the coffee shop. So if you go in, you see coffee themed, what do you call that? Wallpaper. And then this is the storefront side of the play set. And she was holding that, but as I was recording another section, it fell out. It fell out of her hand. So I'm just going to leave it there for now so that it doesn't fall out while I'm doing this part. And then here we are in the sort of who's working at the coffee shop. And from here, we got a couple of best friend scenes. So this is an ice cream shop, a Jenny's ice cream shop with, I consider them best friends because they were the only Girl of the Year dolls who came out the same year, Cubby and Lila. which, I mean, I know it's sad for Cubby, but at least you got a best friend out of it. And then down here, it's a video game, what I think is consider a video game room, but I'm in a really funky spot. I've got a hutch right behind me, so I can't get in much closer than this. But I mean, I've shown the dolls. It's just about showing you how the scene that they're displayed in is. Going along the bottom, this is a little camp scene with a CYO and a custom. And how should I do it from up here? Okay, so here are my sort of athletic scenes. Got figure skater and skiing, gymnast and yogi. He used to be a hockey player, but I decided to make him a soccer player so that they can have two different sports that they're into. And then where should I go from here? This is a school, like a vote for student president, school president scene. And I've talked about them quite a few times, so hopefully you don't need too much more information. Now here's the Cubby's backstage. And instead of having the stage be above it, I have this sort of singing duo above it. So as if they go together. And now I mentioned the 90s, I showed the 90s dolls before and mentioned there was another section, and this is that section. So I'm not saying that this kitchen set is from the 90s, but it feels kind of 90s to me, and maybe I just needed somewhere to stick these other 90s dolls. So there'd be like at a slumber party, the four of these dolls having a slumber party. And then her scene is she's like cleaning up after her friends because they're all messy, and she's too picky to just let the mess continue. And now down here is my, well, it's the community center in my mind. So that is the community center play set with the World by Us dolls. And then I think that they would be in the community center as well. These two I've already shown. And then it comes down into this Truly Me doll I forget what this play set's called, but I just feel like it's part of the community center as well. So I'm gonna need my stepladder again to show you Joss's world more clearly up at the top, but it's going to be a struggle. I've done a better job of showing off this set up here, but because I'm always sort of changing things around, for anyone who missed that video, it's a combination of Joss's minivan, or bus, sorry, her surf bus, and Corinne's ski shop. So I like to see this as sort of like a mountain scene, some kind of mountainous area where we have both beach and mountains for skiing. But I have to show you the rest of it. I have to move the stepladder. Give me a sec. And then here's a snack stand over on the other side of the bus. And inside the bus, we have Blair and Marisol. I don't know if we're able to get a good view. I know I do switch these dolls around because I like to see different ones on display at different times, but I always thought it was kind of sad that I had this bus with places to sit dolls and no dolls to sit in there. So that's why I did end up putting a couple in there later on. I think he's the only one wearing Maplelea, but other dolls are wearing off-brand stuff too in this scene. Okay, I think that's all I need to show for here. Let me back out. And what I was saying earlier about the limited edition dolls, I meant holiday dolls. I'm not certain if I'm going to mount these at any point or if I am going to put them away when it's not the holiday season. Barbie's box is on the bottom just so that they're more visible as they're displayed like this. But as I mentioned with the dolls that are just over there, I wasn't certain if I wanted to. I was so busy putting up those, I wasn't sure if I was going to mount these or not yet. And then the last doll, I didn't really get to show her, but there's so much glare, it's going to be hard to show her. It's my limited edition Tiana doll, who I might be moving to my Tiana room soon because I just feel like she's so perfectly Tiana, and I already have a Tiana doll on display in Angela's Bakery that I may not need her to stay here. Okay, I think that's a pretty good scope of the room, and I went in and showed a lot of details. Last time I tried to count on the fact that I had already shared most of my dolls, that I didn't go into them too much. I don't know if I need to talk about the re-release dolls because there's so much glare, but I think you would have already seen they're there. Not much else to see aside from that. And I should say there are a couple dolls that aren't out here right now because I have a tutorial video coming up and I've put them aside so that I can use them, as victims. I don't know if that's the right word. Examples. they're the ones I'm going to use from some of the tutorials I'm going to do. So this is the main scope. This is the whole scope of the room. I think it should be clear. Usually I'm just sitting on my couch, so you only see a certain angle. Sorry about the stepladder again, but I've needed it. And that's everything. If you didn't see the first doll room tour that I did 10 months ago, then I guess that whole thing was just a big shock to you anyway. But if you did see the older tour, then hopefully you could have seen some differences, even without the ones that I pointed out. And like I said, I was going to come back and have a little chat about the channel itself, because one of the things that I don't talk about, or one thing I don't do on here ever, is ask for people to subscribe. But I hope that doesn't make it sound like I'm not grateful for everyone who does. And at the point of my year, my full year of being on here, I attracted, I guess you could say, 2,500 subscribers, around there, just a little bit more. And that's, to me, that's a huge amount of people because of the kind of channel I have. And I think the reason I don't like to ask for subscribers and things like that is because I've gotten into this niche, I guess you could say, of just making my videos feel like a little FaceTime chat or a video chat, because that's really all I'm doing. So I think that's part of the reason why I am a little bit shy about asking for likes and comments and things like that. But I do always respond to everyone in the comments below, because that's why I started the channel a year ago. And so it's been a lot of fun for a year to just talk, not nonsense, because anybody who's following likes dolls, I would assume, I would hope. And so I really want to take the moment after the year to thank everyone who has followed along. And I've gotten to know so many of you, because there is bigger than a handful, but there are quite a few of you I'm having conversations with in just about every video. And because of that, it does feel like a little bit of a bubble sometimes, where I feel like the people I'm talking to in the comments are the only people I'm talking to when I'm uploading these videos, which sometimes my bubble gets burst, and then I have to try to remember that. But I'm bad at remembering things like that, because when I'm just recording, that's all I'm thinking about. And I said this recently in another video, so it's probably a little bit redundant. But the part that I didn't talk about, that I have been meaning to talk about, is the video that I put up about a month ago at this point, where I explained that I would no longer be collecting American Girl, no longer purchasing American Girl, but I'm going to keep all the dolls that I have. And see, the funny thing is, I did record a video where I talked about sort of a follow-up, but it was too soon, and I was kind of nervous. So the next video that I did after why I will be purchasing any more American Girl products was a Maplelea unboxing video. And then in that video, I said there were a lot of, what did I say, audio issues, and then I had to edit them out. And the audio issues were me talking about things I wasn't ready to talk about. So I was just really nervous, and my voice was all over the place, really shaky, and it was just too soon. Because one of the things I wanted to talk about in the next video was just to thank everyone because everybody in the comments was completely supportive, and I didn't expect that. I uploaded that video just to sort of give everyone a heads up that I was no longer going to be buying anything new. So if you were just here for unboxing videos, I just wanted to let people know, to be honest and transparent, so that I wasn't stringing anyone along. So since then, I haven't done any more unboxing videos, and a couple people have seemed disappointed, and I understand that, and that's, again, why I wanted to put up that video in the first place. But what I didn't talk about, or what I haven't had a chance to talk about, because I edited it out of that Maplelea unboxing video, is I think the next day after the video went up, there was a lot of, as I said, there was a lot of support in the comments. A lot of people commented that they had maybe similar experiences or other kinds of disappointment with American Girl. So I think because of that, and because of the people who commented that they were going to be contacting American Girl with their disappointment, whatever the case was, it did get up to American Girl corporate. And someone it's like, I'm not doxing anyone here, but I will just say that the person, I was able to confirm who they were, and it's a big deal that she did reach out to me, because, like I said, when you're in that other video, what I said was, when you collect something and you make a connection with people, you just kind of get inside scoops. So I was able to confirm that it was a big deal that she called me. However, the first time she called me, I was driving home, so she left a voicemail, and I didn't know I was getting spam calls all day. That, for some reason, very strangely, I was getting spam emails or phone calls all day. So when I saw that number coming in when I was driving home, I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, ugh, let it go to voicemail. Then when I got home, I saw the voicemail was from American Girl. I saw that the voicemail transcript, and so I listened to it. And I just wanted to let anybody out there know, if you were upset enough that you contacted American Girl, it did help in the sense of somebody heard about it and they were disappointed. They were apologetic, and she said to me that, it sounded like she'd either watched other videos or was just trying to be nice. I can't speak for her because I didn't call back, but she had said, she was disappointed to hear what they had said to me about, being American Girl. And she had mentioned in the voicemail only. So I can't really, I can only guess what she was saying, and anything I'm saying is not, I can't confirm. Do you know what I'm saying? So she also mentioned that she was speaking to IT to see if there was security or whatever, to see if there was something they could do to help. And so I can't tell you what that help was, and if that help would have extended beyond helping just me, or if it would have been like something they were keeping in mind for other Canadian collectors, because that was the issue that had happened with me, was because of my two addresses. They just, it was an hour-long video, so I'm not going to get into too many of the details right now, but it's just letting you know that she did leave me a voicemail, apologetic, very nice. And in the moment that it happened, when I listened to the voicemail, I had this sort of guilty reflex inside where I thought, oh, I can call tomorrow I couldn't call the next day because I was busy at work. So I was like, oh, it's too bad. I can't call tomorrow, maybe when I get home. But then after thinking about it, realized, you know what, if this happens, if they are working out some special circumstance to give me my berry rewards, again, I don't know exactly what you meant because I didn't call back. But if they are trying to give me some special treatment, that is just pulling me back into the cycle. And I had already gone through it for so many months that I wasn't, after sleeping on it and thinking about it, I didn't want to get back into that cycle again, because it really was just, it did go too far. And so I didn't want to, it was like, I compare it to, I don't want to sound like a jaded or bitter ex, but it was starting to feel like a toxic relationship. So I felt like, wow, all they had to do was apologize, get some higher up there to call me, and then I was ready to just, jump back in and forgive and everything like that. But like I said, I thought about it, and I realized, no, you know what, I do feel good about my decision and the choice I made. And a couple days later, so I think that would have been a Friday, a Thursday evening, and then that they left the first voicemail, and I think it was the next Monday or Tuesday that she left another one. She started out saying, sorry, I missed your call. And I don't know if she thought that I called, but I didn't call back, or if it was just a habit, but I didn't call back. And so she kind of reiterated and apologized again, and said that, that they hope they could work something out with me. But at this point, I didn't feel guilty because I had thought about it and realized it wasn't a good thing to get back, just to keep going over and over again. Expect, that they say it's insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So that's kind of how I felt at this point, was just like, I've tried this. Like, I did it. I know it's just a collecting thing, but this is a doll update video. So that's why it sounds silly what I'm talking about, but I really did have to think about it. And this is my way of saying, even though they were willing to make allowances or something, whatever it was she was leaving in the voicemails, I just realized, and I felt it in my core, that this was not the path to keep going. And I'm really, really happy, and I'm at peace with everything, the choices that I made. And I really love my collection of dolls that I have, that you just saw all of them. It's like, where would I even put any more? I mean, I can always figure out space for more. But it's just another message to the people out there who have left comments, whether it was to say, they don't want to watch any more videos, totally understand that. Or, if they just wish that, I would, that I would do more unboxings, and whatever the case may be. As far as secondary dolls, I don't know right now, but I just want everyone to know that I really am a stubborn person. So that is going to be the end of the new release dolls and merchandise from American Girl. And I'm just saying that again because it's like, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, as they say, but just know that that's kind of what my video journey or collecting journey is going to be from now on. And I think that's all I had to say about that. And again, thank everyone for the supportive comments in that video, because I was not expecting that kind of reaction. I was expecting a lot more of a negative reaction, and people just like, unsubscribe. But it's like everyone stuck around, and I was really surprised, and pleasantly surprised. And humbled, I guess you could say. So I'll just try to keep that in mind as I'm sometimes feeling apologetic in my non-unboxing videos, you know what I mean? So anyway, it's been a year, and I am kind of surprised I made it this far, because in the beginning I was really nervous all the time, and it felt like, in the beginning, it felt like a lot of work to try. Like, it was one of those things I wanted to do for a really long time, to start a channel. And I know a lot of you feel the same way too, because you mentioned it in comments. And I hope that the fact that I've been here for a year, doing this for a year, and it was so stressful in the beginning, but it was awkward and embarrassing, and it was something I wanted to do, but it still took a lot of like pushing to get myself to do it all the time. So I really hope that if I've lasted a year, and to anyone who's seen my type of the quality of videos, I prove that anyone can do it. So if you do want to do it, just one day do it, because I mean, I've managed to stick around for this long, so I think you could do. And I do believe this is probably going to be a really long video by the time I put it all together. So thanks for following along, and even to my channel, but especially in this video, thanks for hanging out with me in it. And I will see you soon in the next one.